The MV-APL Oceania is fitted with a wraps and slide type steering gear unit, which has 2 rams and 4 cylinders. The unit is manufactured by Hetlapa. The test begins by greasing the steering gear. Greasing the steering gear is done using the hand pump and ensures the rudder stock moves easily. After it's greased, the engineer can check the level in the head tank, the hydraulic sump, and fill as needed. If it needs to be filled, then there's a hand pump and a smaller storage tank on the side of the steering gear room. Afterwards, the engineer should make a general visual inspection of the unit and just check for any cracks or leaks or any abnormalities. Once the visual inspection is complete, the engineer can call the bridge on the internal telephone in the steering gear room and let them know that they are ready to complete the test. The engineer will verify the heading displayed in the steering gear room to ensure it aligns with what is displayed on the bridge. The heading verifies that the gyro compass repeater is working properly. The engineer will then go to the steering gear motor control panel and toggle the autopilot off and local control on. An alarm will go off in the ECR indicating that the autopilot has lost power. The engineer should acknowledge the alarm locally in the steering gear room. The engineer should then start the motor and cycle the rudder fully from port to starboard. The engineer should listen for any strange noises or abnormalities, and the engineer should be watching the limit switches to ensure they stop the ram at 37 degrees each way. Once the test is complete, the engineer can then bring the rudder back to 0. The engineer will then stop the pump and toggle bridge control back on and the autopilot back on. The engineer will then repeat the same local control test for the opposite motor and pump. Once both tests are complete, the engineer will then go to the sound-powered phone and call the bridge. The sound-powered phone is checked to ensure that even if power is lost, the bridge and the steering gear room can still communicate. The maid on watch will then start one of the pumps and cycle the rudder back and forth. The engineer should be watching the rudder angle indicator and making reports to the maid on watch to ensure it is consistent with what they see on the bridge. Once the first test is complete, the maid on watch will start the second pump and motor and test both pumps and motors at the same time before turning the first one off and testing the steering gear using just the second one. The steering gear tests fall under 46 CFR 164.25. The regulations state that the test must be completed no more than 12 hours before getting underway or entering port. If the test is being done before leaving port, the bridge must first verify rudder clearance. The test should include a visual inspection, operation of the remote control, operation of the local control, the power failure alarms, operation of the rudder angle indicator and gyro compass repeater, operation of the internal communications, and the full movement of the rudder. Thank you for watching my steering gear testing video.